Hey, what's up you guys, it's your boy Drew here back again with another video for all you American soccer fans out there. And in this video, we're going to talk about that 28-man roster that Greg Berhalter has announced for the friendly against Jamaica. And then from this roster, he's going to go and pick his final 23-man roster June 4th for the Gold Cup tournament this summer. So, really excited to talk about it. Let's just get to it. So, the Gold Cup is happening soon this summer, and so is the Women's World Cup. And right now what's going on is the Under-20 World Cup, which our USA boys are doing pretty well in so far. So there's so much American soccer content coming up soon on this channel. And if you guys want to keep in touch, keep updated with all this American soccer stuff, and you want to be part of American soccer growth here in America, then subscribe down below, be part of the change. And also, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like down below, because that really goes farther than you guys think. A like on a video really helps the video and the channel, of course, grow, and then obviously help try to grow soccer in America. Think about it. Here is a roster that's going to play only against Jamaica, I believe, and then after this, like I said, he's going to slim it down from 28 to 23, which is the required minimum or maximum squad members you're allowed to have for a tournament like the Gold Cup. So, here we go. Here's the 28 dudes Greg Berhalter has announced. Alright, for goalkeepers, we got Sean Johnson, Tyler Miller, Zach Steffen. For defenders, we got Cameron Carter-Vickers, Omar Gonzalez for some reason, Nick Lima, Aaron Long, Daniel Lovitz, Matt Miazga, Tim Ream, Anthony Robinson, Walker Zimmerman. Now for our midfielders, we got Michael Bradley, Dwayne Holmes, Sebastian Lletget, Weston McKennie, Georgi Mihailovic, Christian Roldan, Will Trapp, and Jackson Ewell. For forwards, we got Josie Altidore, Jonathan Amon, Paul Areola, Tyler Boyd, Joe Gayu, Jordan Morris, Josh Sargent, and finally Yazzie Zardes. So lots to unpack here, and basically in this video, I basically just want to go a little in depth with certain players on this roster that I agree with or don't agree with, and basically give you guys just my reaction to this whole 28-man roster for this friendly against Jamaica. I don't really want to go and predict who I think will make the 23-man roster for the Gold Cup, because by the time this video comes out, by the time people start seeing it and commenting and stuff, the roster itself is like the 23-man roster itself is already going to be out or almost out. So well, I'll talk about the 23-man roster once it comes out, June 6th, actually. This was this Thursday, so it's coming up. It's coming up fast. Be sure you guys are subscribed. Let's start off with the goalkeepers first. I kind of predicted these two goalkeepers, Zach Steffen and Sean Johnson, because I just think, they're both really, really great players, especially Zach Steffen, and someone who I'm really, really excited to see in net. I hope to see him maybe against Jamaica or maybe at least in a couple games for the Gold Cup. That is Tyler Miller from LAFC. Now, this is going to be Tyler Miller's first debut for the national team if he actually gets to play. This is his first call-up for the senior team, which is really great for him. So that's pretty much on the goalkeepers. I'm really not upset or mad about the picks that Greg Berhalter picked for the goalkeepers. So let's get on to the defenders. Now for defenders, we got Cameron Carter-Vickers, Omar Gonzalez, Nick Lima, Aaron Long, Daniel Lovitz, Matt Miazga, Tim Ream, Anthony Robinson, and Walker Zimmerman. I just realized halfway through that I already said all these players' names earlier in the video, so sorry you guys had to hear that again. So right off the bat, like in my prediction video, Omar Gonzalez, come on, what's going on here? If anyone's really following the Liga MX League, totally comment down below. Let me know if you guys are following Omar Gonzalez. Is he really doing that well over there? How is his game? Has he improved as a defender? Is he in good form? What's the deal? What is it now that he's being called back into the national team? Because I kind of thought he was phased out after the 2018 World Cup. I kind of thought he was kind of gone. Especially with new rivals like Walker Zimmerman and Aaron Long especially, and youngsters like Matt Miazga and Cameron Carter-Vickers really stepping up for the national team. And of course, if we had John Brooks in here, we'd have an abundance of really solid defenders at the back for the national team. So I really don't see why Omar Gonzalez is here. So that's the only nitpick I'd have for the defenders. It's just I really would just replace Omar Gonzalez with someone else. Okay, that's pretty much it. Also, as you can see, Tyler Adams is not called up to the midfielders or the defenders section of the national team because, him and Christian Pulisic, which is another name that I kind of forgot was not mentioned here because you just automatically assume he's going to be in the roster, and guess what? They both will be. I just think that, Greg Berhalter didn't want to risk them getting injured for this friendly against Jamaica, so they're like, give them extra time for their vacation or whatever, and then when it's time for the Gold Cup, I think both of those two players, Pulisic and Adams, will definitely be called up to the 23-man roster of the Gold Cup. So now, these players could all totally change depending on how the game against Jamaica goes, or how injuries are, how other players' form becomes. Like, it could all totally change. And I hope you guys know that. So don't quote me in saying that this is the whole set roster, because it ain't. We could still have Brad Guzan mysteriously come in and replace Zach Steffen or Johnson or Miller, which would totally be very national teamish of the USA, because we just stick to our oldies. Okay, so finishing up the defenders, I think, it's all pretty good. I think we have pretty good, solid players, minus Omar Gonzalez right now. Good youngsters, good youth. Tim Ream is not my favorite player at the back, but I like his flexibility to be left back or center back, so it's always really good to have. And of course, his experience, and he's older than these young kids come in, would also be really good and helpful for the back line. So let's get into the midfielders. I'm not going to say their names again, don't worry. Right off the bat, I want to bring up Michael Bradley, because I know a lot of people aren't too fond of Michael Bradley as of late, and in recent times. But I think he's getting back in there. I think he's in good form right now with Toronto FC. He's in good form, he's in good spirits. All right, he's doing good. I think having him as a leadership quality in the center of midfield with the youngsters, these young kids coming in, will be really important for this friendly and for the Gold Cup. So I really hope Michael Bradley does get selected to the 23-man roster for the Gold Cup, because, like I said, his wisdom, his leadership qualities will be really good for the center of midfield, which is what we need. If our midfield is not good, then the whole setup, the whole national team is screwed. It's over. We won't ever be as good as we want to be unless we do have a really great midfield. And I think Michael Bradley being in there and helping these kids grow into their national team form will be really helpful. So definitely props to Michael Bradley being called up. Dwayne Holmes from Derby County didn't feature in the Derby County playoff final to be promoted to the Premier League, and Derby County obviously did not get into the Premier League, so it's kind of sucked to see Dwayne Holmes on that team not being able to play in the big league of the Premier League. So that sucks. But he didn't play for that playoff final, so is he hurt? Or clearly he's not hurt because he's called up to the national team, but is he not as good as we think? Who knows? We're going to have to find out and see. This is his first call up to the senior national team, so good for him. Just like Tyler Miller, his first debut, if he gets to debut, it'll be good for him. Hopefully he's a good player. As a center attacking midfielder would be great to have. Then we got Sebastian Lletget from LA Galaxy, who I think is really good player, good attacking midfielder, good pacey winger, whatever. A winger, left wing, he can play on the wings, which is what we need, definitely. And another player who is kind of random and kind of out of nowhere, who wasn't listed on the 40-man roster previously, is Jackson Ewell from San Jose Earthquakes. Don't know too much about him, but what I do know is But what I do know is that he's having a really good season, pretty solid, decent, solid form right now for San Jose. Obviously didn't start the season really well, but I think they're picking up form. He's picking up form. 2 assists and a goal so far as a center midfielder. I think it's like a holding midfield, not an attacking one. He holds the ball in there, he holds the formation there, which is really good to have alongside Michael Bradley and Christian Roldan and Will Trapp. All those players, nice defensive midfielders, which I really like to see because we need that good, solid defense in midfield, along with attacking players like Jordy Mihalovic and Weston McKennie, who are both young, attacking midfielders. Perfect. Someone else who I noticed is not in here is Darlington Nagbe, but I think just like Pulisic and Adams, maybe he'll be called up to the final roster for the Gold Cup. Maybe they don't want to risk injury, but who knows? All right, let's get on to the last section, which is the forwards, the attackers, the players who are going to give us goals and help us win this Gold Cup, which hopefully we do. I think we got a 90% chance of winning it if we're in good form. So, whatever. That's just my prediction. Let's get on to the forwards. Jozy Altidore, obviously, as I've expressed in many, many videos, especially recently, is not my favorite player. He's not my favorite national team player. He's good for Toronto, good for MLS. But at the national stage, not my favorite. And a lot of people were showing love to Jozy Altidore in the comments on my previous videos. So, and they kind of opened my eyes. Yes, he is the third most top goal scorer for the national team in history. He's kind of like 10 or 15 behind Dempsey and Donovan, who are both tied for first. So, if he keeps good form on, he's in good form right now with Toronto FC, and if he can transfer that over to the national team, which I know sometimes he can, but if he stays healthy, stays uninjured, he definitely will be a great attacking force. He's got the strength to keep the ball up. He's got decent pace. He's very clinical in front of goal when he wants to be. So He's got to stay uninjured. He's got to stay motivated. He's got to stay the leader of these young other strikers coming in to help them lead the line of attack. I don't know how else to say that. So diving in deep into this list of forwards we got, I would see Tyler Boyd making his debut, hopefully for the national team, after recently being switched over from New Zealand to now representing the USA, which is really good for us, good for him. Everybody wins, except probably New Zealand, but that's alright. They'll find other players. So I'm excited to see how he's going to do, how he'll fit in with the dudes, with the guys, whatever, how he'll fit in with the lineup, the formation with Greg Berhalter. I hope he does well. I know he's a skillful winger, so I hope he can replicate that, his good form in the Turkish League right now, replicate it into the national team. So I hope he makes a good impression, because first impressions are always very, very important, especially for American soccer players. First impressions are key. So Tyler Boyd, best be on your best game, boy. Obviously, excited to see my favorite, I think, attacker right now, Jordan Morris and Yazzie Zardes, both of them right now in great form with their clubs. I think together, lining up as like as having two strikers up top, definitely pick them two up top, or even Jordan Morris with Altidore up top, or even Zardes with Altidore and then Morris on the wing, on the right wing, which he tends to do pretty well when he's playing at the club level. So that's it on them. And then lastly, before I go, I really want to give a shout out to Josh Sargent, who I'm really excited to see. A lot of people did tell me, like I saw some comments in my previous video when I didn't pick Josh Sargent to be selected to this 23-man roster this summer. A lot of people were saying, you know what, there's a reason he wasn't called to the Under-20 World Cup and was called to this lineup, to this shortlist instead. And you're right. Maybe you think, you know what, they're right. Like, Greg Berhalter must have seen something or must like something about this dude that made him be like, you know what, you ain't going to the Under-20 World Cup. I need you for the senior team for this big tournament as well. So, like, you know, there's got to be something there that Greg Berhalter sees, despite him not being in really good form with Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga, not having too many goals, but then again, not having too many chances to impress on the big stage in the Bundesliga. So, can't really blame him, but I'm really excited. I hope he gets a start not a start. I hope he gets to feature at least in this game against Jamaica, and then hopefully, if he does well, obviously I'd want him to be selected to the final 23-man roster. But that's it. Obviously, there's some players, some big players, like I mentioned, that might be missing, but like I said, they could be just kept away safe from injury, so that way they don't get injured during this game, and then we can bring them back for the final 23-man roster, which is this week. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys are keeping up. Hit that bell notification so you guys know when this video posts, and you guys know when those videos in the future post about the Women's World Cup, about the Gold Cup, and about the Under-20 U.S. National Team World Cup. So, that's it. That's my reaction to this whole lineup. Out of 10, I'll give this lineup a decent, strong 8. No. Yeah, an 8. An 8 sounds good. I think we have a good mix of players, good youth, good senior players. I hope these players all connect well, and I hope we do well against Jamaica. I hope we beat them. I hope we do well in the Gold Cup, and of course, we're just going to have to wait and see. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on who you are upset didn't make this final cut down below in the comment section. Let me know some players that you think shouldn't be in this this short list. Let me know down below. Thanks for kicking with me. I'll see you next time.